The Institute for Faith and Freedom at Grove City College presents the Student Fellows of Faith and Freedom.
Welcome to another episode of Meet the Student Fellows of Faith and Freedom interview series. I'm your host, Jacob Adams. Our guest today is Libby. And before we get started with Libby, I just wanted to remind you all to head over to our website, faithandfreedom.com. You can find awesome scholarly op-eds by our professors, updates about the events that we're having on campus, and a link to our new podcast, Liberty Mail, which Libby's actually one of the hosts of, so I'm sure we'll get to hear more about that later. And so with that, if you can just introduce yourself, your name, major, year, and then a little bit about why you joined the Institute for Faith and Freedom.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. My name's Libby. I'm a senior political science and communications art double major, and I'm from outside of Pittsburgh, about 40 minutes. This is my second year as a fellow, as a marketing fellow, and I was really passionate about the mission of the Institute to further the conservative movement, and that is why originally I joined. And past that, my experience last year was just wonderful, gaining so many new professional skills as well. So that's why I knew I had to do it again and just continue down that path.
That's awesome. And could you tell me a little bit about particular issues that you're passionate about, or just different forms of marketing that you are really interested in?
Yeah, so I'm not a marketing major, so I don't really have the class experience, but getting that hands-on experience has been incredible. What I'm especially passionate about as a young conservative is finding ways that we can message what we believe in better to the next generation, to really change hearts and minds. I think there's such an opportunity for conservatives to better communicate what we believe, instead of focusing so much on facts don't care about your feelings, but understanding facts and feelings together to try to synthesize into a worldview that we can really package to the next generation. Yeah,
that's awesome. And so I know I mentioned the podcast earlier. If you could tell me a little bit about how that's been going, as well as any other projects that you've been working on.
Yeah, so the podcast has been Aaron and I's little baby this semester, and going to take it out through the end of the year as well. We do conservative wins of the week, so looking at three areas in which we think the conservative movement has been doing well in the past week, trying to tie it with current events. And that has been such an incredible experience for me. I've never worked on a podcast before, so being able to actually write our own, we don't have a script, but write our own material, look through the news, it forces me to keep updated with the news as well. And getting ways to send this out to our audience and other students to try to get them engaged has been really cool, and also getting those technical professional skills as well. And we've also done some man on the street videos, so getting editing experience with that has been wonderful. And so doing some event planning with IFF as well, social media, all of these incredible skills that I can't wait to put to use in the future.
Yeah, so speaking of the future, do you have a feel for what you might want to pursue after graduation?
Yeah, so graduation is coming really fast, unfortunately. I'm looking to stay in the conservative movement because that is where my passion is, but also using those new skills that IFF especially has taught me with the podcast and marketing in general. I'm looking to stay in the communications field. I'm not exactly sure where that's going to take me, whether that's PR or more politics-wise, but somehow forwarding the conservative movement with the communications skills that I've learned.
That's awesome. Yeah, well, thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you all for tuning in. And again, just one last reminder, check out those Man on the Street videos, check out Liberty Mail to hear about some awesome ways the conservative movement's been succeeding, and you can find all that at faithandfreedom.com.
For more information on the Institute for Faith and Freedom, visit faithandfreedom.com.